Hello and welcome to the Smash King Retrospective series. I am Lord Lad and today we'll be going through episodes 12, 13, 14 and 15 of the Smash King series. Smash King is a series created by Go21, so if you haven't already seen the series, I recommend going to his channel and watching it first. If you also haven't seen any other parts of the retrospective, I recommend you go watch those first because there is a lot of context and build up in the previous episodes that we cover for what we're going to cover today. So it's crucial that you see the other parts before this one. If you end up liking this video, please leave a like, comment down below because it really helps with not only motivation by that YouTube algorithm as well, but primarily just with motivation. You guys showing your love for the series motivates me to make more entries and make more videos, so please, if you do find yourself enjoying this, please leave a comment down below. Also, if you're new to the channel and you like the content here, feel free to subscribe, it's completely free. And if my content in the future you're not a big fan of, you can always just unsubscribe later. So without further ado, enough of me waffling, let's begin.
What if I tried to invoke a final smash on top of a final smash?
Episode 12 begins where episode 11 left off, with Sonic transforming into his Ascent mode. We flash back to when Sonic and Ike spoke about Ascent modes back in episode 4. We also see some narration by Sonic talking about how he was trying to obtain an Ascent mode. That was until he had an idea.
What if I tried to invoke a final smash on top of a final smash?
This Ascent mode will later go on to be called Hypersonic. Hypersonic will begin beating Link, dominating the fight with his immense speed and power, with Captain Falcon recognizing Sonic for his speed and even saying that he is the fastest. We then get our title drop and catch up with Mario vs Meta Knight. We then swiftly cut over to Bowser and Liz running away from Lucario and Fox. They soon put Bowser into a corner. Bowser tries to talk to Lucario, but he still wasn't having it. Liz tries to fight Lucario and then Bowser would step in and begin fighting back. However, Fox would say something to Lucario.
Can you do it? I don't know much about your power over the aura, but I've always tried to go by people's eyes, because they say that eyes are windows to the soul. Try looking in his eyes, and see if you can stay true to your resolve.
That's nonsense.
We then get a flashback to Bowser and Mewtwo training in Melee, with Mewtwo giving him some advice.
You realize that we could have done this at the battlefield, correct? We would have had our privacy there, at least.
Too dark for my taste. And showing everybody what I'm made of is the whole point of why I'm doing this anyway.
The day you'll be able to do that will come in time. There's no need to be hasty.
Huh? What's that? Praise for once? You were going on about how I was gonna whine and quit before.
There's still a chance of that happening. And you know what'll happen to you then.
I don't think so, Master. Do your worst. I'm not gonna quit.
Lucario would then stop his attack and question Fox, who would apologize to Bowser, but suddenly a new guest would arrive.
And that's one impediment out of the way.
Ganon.
Ganon would then get a hold of Bowser and use his magic to take control of him. We cut back to Meta Knight and Mario, who senses that there is something wrong. Then with Ike appearing, the three would go to Bowser's, with Ike promising Mario that he would do nothing to Bowser. But before they leave, a sticker would land on the floor. Coming back over to Bowser's, Fox, Lucario and Liz are now watching as everything unfolds. Bowser would become Giga Bowser, just as Peach, Zelda and Wario would arrive. Lucario would betray Ganon and join the others in trying to stop Bowser. Everyone would try and use their final smashes to slow Bowser down, but nothing would work. This is where Peach would have an idea. The idea was that she would have Lucario guard her against Ganon, as everybody else would keep Bowser busy, while Peach would charge up power using a Star Rod. As everyone does their bit, Peach gains the power needed to save Bowser. Falco, Pit and Dedede would also jump in and help. Soon Peach manages to gain power and use the Star Rod to break Bowser free of Ganon's control and have him go back to his base form. However, he is out for the count now, and as there is still a bit of Ganon's power left inside, Ganon will go in to attack Peach, but then...
You!
Finally, after 12 episodes, Mario and Peach reunite. And that's where this episode ends, with a new outro to go along with it. This intro is something that I will be touching upon much later on in the retrospective, so I really want you to keep this one in mind. But anyway, continuing on with the video.
Alright, I'll do what I can.
We'll help too! Try not to keep too long!
Right!
Episode 13 begins with the aftermath of Link and Sonic's fight. Sonic looks tired laying down on the ground, the smoke clears and Link is still alive and standing. Link would jump into action attacking Sonic who would hit Link with Super Sonic and then fall to the ground. Cat and Falcon would then run to Sonic as Link goes into attack, and that's when we get our title screen. We cut to Bowser having an inner dialogue with his darker side. We see a version of New Pork City. The sky turned red and Giga Bowser would be seen terrorizing the inhabitants of New Pork City. The Dark Bowser would walk past Wario with no interest of fighting. We would then see Dark Bowser attack on it, summoning small Dark Bowsers to attack citizens. And we see DDD summon the BS Society to help, with even DDD attacking the kaiju. Wario would arrive and talk to the beast. We would hear Peach and then cut to a grassland, where we hear everyone calling Bowser's name. Bowser would see Peach and then cut to Hotel Bowser, with the reunion of Mario and Peach. Mario then runs off to fight Ganon, and we see that Mario is actually able to land hits on Ganon, whereas last time he couldn't, and neither could anybody else in the fight prior. We see Mario summon a flame sword, this being a new upgrade given to Mario by Roy from the sticker he had picked up before. DDD also jumps into the fight and the two dominate Ganondorf. We cut back to Bowser's mind and we see Bowser having to listen to his Dark Bowser self, telling him that he has always been a monster. Moving back to the main fight, Ganondorf would turn the whole place dark and become his Beast Ganon form. And DDD would question him on how he gained this power, with Ganondorf replying that this shouldn't be a surprise seeing that he is a part of the Creator's Triune. Ganondorf would return to his Ganondorf form and then be attacked by Lucario. And now Peach would charge up some magic and steal some power from Ganondorf, and give that power to Mario and DDD, who would jump straight back into the action, with Ike, Fox, Falco and Meta Knight also jumping in. We move back to Bowser's mind where we see everyone inside Luigi's mansion, holding some kind of fancy event. Bowser would then sit outside, wallowing in his sorrows, but then he would hear Liz on the rooftop. He'd join her and the two would talk, talking about hope, and the pair would also talk about how they feel out of place and seen as monsters. Dark Bowser would continue to talk to Bowser, asking him if he even deserves happiness. We move back to the fight against Ganondorf where everyone would try but they are struggling against him. We catch up with Link's fight against Team Falcon and Sonic, with Link still dominating the fight. We get a flashback to Sonic and Captain Falcon's first time meeting, and we see that Captain Falcon has now accepted Sonic to be the fastest and gambles his final stock on one last Falcon punch, sending Link flying away. But however, this would also send Captain Falcon to fall into a pit, with him losing his final stock, and now he would be reset. Back over to Bowser, we see Bowser remembering his first time meeting Peach, who tells Bowser how she feels about how she used to always rely on Mario, but now she thinks he's gone, the pair would agree to stick together. We then see two Bowsers walking and merge together as he walks into a light. The fight continues with everyone still struggling to keep Ganon busy, but soon Bowser would awaken and then take Ganon all the way to Norfair and fight him. Bowser would dominate the fight, even putting Ganondorf on his knees. However, Ganon would then escape, and Bowser would make his way back to everybody, but then is attacked by Mario, and the two would square off, ending episode 13. Episode 14 begins with Link washing ashore, talking about how he's too comfortable with who he's become now to turn on a new leaf, and if Ike has a problem with that, then Ike would just flat out have to kill him. We cut over to Sonic, where him, Marth and Luigi are greeted by the ghost of Captain Falcon. Falcon tells Sonic to inform his group about Link, having a feeling that Sonic's group will run into him again. Sonic however doesn't care about that and is mad that Falcon would just die like that, while Sonic still wanted a rematch, with Falcon telling Sonic that he's already proven that he's the fastest, so there is no need for such rematch. With Falcon also telling Sonic that if Falcon didn't die, Sonic would have, and that he feels a big battle is coming soon and that Sonic is needed for that fight. Falcon would then leave, with Sonic now pissed off that he's gotten what he wanted. We get our title drop and Sonic is seen off by Luigi and Marth, as he begins to find Mario and Ike, but has no idea where to go to first. That is when he hears a voice that is somehow familiar to Sonic, Shadow the Hedgehog.
Norfair is where you want to go.
What? Somebody there?
I have no time to answer that. Now if you'd like me to take you off speakerphone, just use what I'm about to give you.
Okay then. But only because I appreciate that sense of humor.
You're mistaken. I'm not funny. Now, take this sticker and equip it to your matrix. It contains a fraction of my powers, and with it, you should be able to leap through time and space in an instant. I call this specialty of mine Chaos Control.
Sonic picks up the sticker and teleports. Now I want to take a step a bit and talk about Shadow. I have a feeling that Shadow has some kind of plan to do with Sonic. There is no evidence to prove this theory right now, but here's what I do have. In the outro to Smash King at the minute, we see Hypersonic turn around and point at Shadow, as if the two were having some kind of discussion or confrontation. And in a later episode, we get a look into the Twilight Realm, where Shadow and Roy are the only two that have nothing to do with the goings on in the Twilight Realm ran by Midna. And the two have something planned, but we'll have to wait and see what that is. I'll elaborate this a lot more further when we get to that episode. For now, I'm going to stop here about my theory and continue with the episode. Back to episode 14 now. Sonic reaches Norfair and hears an explosion. And this is where we would say one of the greatest fights in this series, Mario vs Bowser. Everyone would try and get them to stop, but nothing's working. Ike would then see Sonic and explain what's going on. Sonic would then go hyper and stop the two from fighting. Mario would explain his reasoning for fighting Bowser, with Bowser just staying quiet. Peach demands Bowser talks, but he just stays silent and tells everyone to just go ahead and hate him now. Thirdly, their conversation is interrupted by Wolf, Snake and Samus. Zelda pleads to Samus, but isn't moved and takes a shot at Bowser, which is shielded by a minion. Bowser would then have to fight the three hunters. Fox and crew want to step in, but DDD tells them to wait. Peach begins to fight Wolf just as Samus takes another shot at Bowser, but Sonic would use Chaos Control from the sticker Shadow gave him earlier to save Bowser. Peach is able to hold her own against Wolf, and this fight here is very important as it proves to everybody that Peach can act on her own and fend for herself, with even Liz commenting on it.
Look. Just look at her. That is the fruit of all you two have been through together. While you've fought to prove your worth, she had been working up to keep up with you, to prove her worth as well. You were obviously a big inspiration to her. Watching her fight, don't you feel the same?
Liz.
Even now, I never liked her much. But I've watched her grow along with you this whole month. In her own right, she's become truly strong. So what are you doing still on your knees? You're a king! Stand tall and pay your follower your respect. Watch her fight with pride.
All those close to Bowser tell him that they should let him fight for him for once, instead of Bowser fighting for them. The fight stops with Meta Knight noticing that Peach is buying some time. Wolf tells them that they have a very important client. Pit thinks it's DDD, but it's confirmed by Zelda to be
The creator.
Yes.
Zelda wouldn't tell the group that the four were hired by the Hands, known as the Creator, that Ganon is after to be God, and the others say that the Creator is stronger than everyone, so how would Ganon even stand a chance? This is why Zelda talks about how everybody has been evolving more than the Creator was prepared for. This is potentially very dangerous for a select few, especially the Creator's trait. Zelda will talk about the challenges trophies can participate in to get stronger, with the classic challenge where trophies undergo random battles to then go on to fight an offshoot of the Creator. Then there's event challenges where they all have their own unique objectives. My dear viewer, What Zelda is describing here is classic mode and event mode from Melee, Brawl, and later on Smash for Wii U. 64 and 3DS and Ultimate don't have event modes, but they do have classic modes. That's why I didn't mention them as well. Anyway, one of the event tasks is very important. Event 51, where trophies will fight alone against the Creator's Triune. Back in Melee, this was Mewtwo, Ganondorf, and Bowser. These trophies are what many would refer to as villains. This is so that they would be more of a challenge for the rest. These three were given special attributes that made them evolve faster than everyone else. Bowser was the strongest of the three, seeing that he can not only transform, but he was the final boss of Melee's Adventure Challenge, being proof of that strength. But now he has a third form, the Ascent mode. This form was first achieved on the last day of Melee. Mewtwo always knew Bowser could achieve this form, but Bowser failed to until Ganon crossed him one time too many. At that point he went beyond Giga Bowser, and with that, Bowser is almost as strong as the Creator. That's why Ganon wants Bowser to use the power of the Creator. This all makes Sonic think that this is what Falcon was talking about before. Snake tells the group that's why they were hired, to take Bowser to the Creator. But the Creator's goal was to keep Bowser away from everyone. The Creator thinks Bowser's too dangerous to have living among everybody else. This is when the fight resumes and Wolf takes on Peach. Snake would hold Sonic back so that he can use Chaos Control again, and Samus finally gets a hit on Bowser, with the blast she was trying to shoot before. We see Bowser in some kind of statue-like looking state, with then Peach going ahead and guarding Bowser. We flash back to Bowser telling Peach his wish. Peach keeping guard of Bowser with the BS Society now joining her. Bowser would then begin to move and talk. This was a surprise for the hunters, with Snake thinking about how the blast was supposed to destroy Bowser's matrix. Bowser would then tell them how this power was rising and talks about how the power can't fully contain itself within Bowser's body, at least not at that size.
This body is too small to better contain all this power. This has to be a much larger vessel! Seriously, I had intentionally self-destructed myself in Melee, and I survived with all my memories intact. And now, he sent some trio of fools to literally give me more power. You know something? I think somebody up there loves me a little too much.
Bowser would transform into Giga Bowser, but this time with his white Ascent mode. We end the episode with a post-credit scene of Lucario, who seems to be fighting his own against a bunch of Robs coming for him. And that's where episode 14 ends.
I have a question!
Oh, and what's that, Squirt?
You're stuck in that cage. Why don't you break out?
Episode 15 kicks off with Lucario fighting the Robs and then escaping. We get our title card and we go back to Bowser and crew. Wario is acting like his usual self, and it's clear that Bowser is not a fan of the power he's currently in possession of. Sounds keep going on about how Bowser doesn't belong in the world of Smash, with Wario telling her to back off. Mario would then begin to think about the last day of Melee, but then also begin the good memories he's had with Bowser during the time of Melee. Bowser here is having a proper heart-to-heart with everybody, telling him that he wants to stay with them all, but also understands if he needs to be reprimanded for what he's done. Dedede decides to take Bowser into his custody, and then he would then tell Snake if he doesn't hear from the Creator by the next day, then Snake better in his stead. The hunters would leave, but then suddenly Bowser would get a strange feeling in his chest. A bright light would emit from him, and we cut to Ganon reflecting what Bowser said to him before. Ganon would feel the earth shake and hears a mighty roar as light falls around the world of Smash. We even see Ridley for the first time. Light flashes and we come back to the main group, all passed out on the floor. Everyone will get up one by one, with Meta Knight commenting that he feels stronger. And then we see Mario, Peach and Bowser all on the floor. All three of them taking on some kind of new forms. This is something I think we should talk about later. We cut a lot of time later and we see Mario and Peach having a conversation. Mario is seemingly taking Peach out like how they used to back in Melee. Peach tells Mario that it feels weird that Mario and Peach are finally together and Bowser is sealed away. Mario offers to take Peach inside, with Peach calling Mario Bowser, a reversal of something that happened long before. We then cut to the BS Society where Falco talks about how everything shouldn't be going as it is. Everyone isn't feeling right, and everything about everything that just happened. As a group of people come to see Bowser, Ganon would appear, saying that he wishes to speak to King Dedede. Bowser get visited by Charizard, DK, Wario, Liz, and with Charizard being very upset that Bowser is imprisoned. We also see Pikachu has come to visit. It's nice to see that after everything has transpired, there's still some lighter moments. Also, this image is just really funny. And yeah, this episode would then end off with Bowser and Liz having one more English lesson. And this is where not only this episode ends, but also this entry of the retrospective. We have covered so much with these 4 episodes. These 4 episodes work as like a season finale, while Smash King and everything moving forward is kind of like a season 2. For things about the creators Triude, stuff about Ganon and Bowser, and just how dangerous Bowser could supposedly be, there is so many details that were dropped here that will be discussed a lot more in detail at the end of the 8th retrospective video, where we do the closing thoughts and everything like that. So I please hope you enjoy this video, and I please hope you look forward to the future episodes. Next episode will be a while. I want to work on some other videos before I do the next retrospective. So 2 videos about different topics will be uploaded, then part 7, then we'll have like another 1 or 2 videos, and then part 8, and then we're done with the retrospective for now. With that all being said, I hope you guys did enjoy, and please, if you enjoyed this video, like and comment and subscribe, especially commenting, as it does help with motivation and engagement, and it gets that pesky YouTube algorithm to allow my videos to be pushed into that algorithm, so then more people can see these videos. With that all being said, I've been Lord Lad, and I hope you have a good day.